सभागृह में उपस्थित सभी मान्यवरों का पुनः एक बार स्वागत। कार्यक्रम हम शुरुआत कर रहे हैं, प्रारंभ कर रहे हैं। इस भव्य समारोह में जो विशेष अतिथि पधारे हैं उनसे मैं दरख्वास्त करता हूं, विनती करता हूं, प्रार्थना करता हूं कि वो स्टेज पर आए।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy International Women's Day to all the women who are present here and also the men. I would like to, first of all, thank Shri Dheeraj Borikar, who invited me for this wonderful event. I don't think there could be any better event or a day on an International Women's Day to celebrate the 300 years birthday of Lokmata Ahilya Devi Holkar, because I feel that history was not, I should say, kind to her, because we all got to know about her so late in our life, because when we went to school, we did not know about her, and later on, thanks to the whole campaign taken to promote her, I think all of us got to know her. So I would like to I know everybody knows about her actually, but anyway, let me just start my speech by just, first of all, honoring our special guest, Swamiji Sri Vigyanananda Ji, and also today's guest on the dais, Sri Vishnu Ji, Vaishali Babu, Sri Manisha Marathe, and all the dignified dignitaries who are present here, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know that the UN had declared somewhere very late, as early as 1975, March 8 as the International Women's Day. I feel every day is a day for women, but this is a special day where there is a total focus on women, and this was done because in those days it was felt that women needed to have that kind of a support and encouragement to be on par with men. So this year, as I was saying, the theme is Accelerate Action. Every year UN declares a theme for International Women's Day, and this year is Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. And we cannot find a better theme or person than Lokmata Ahilya Devi Holkar and her life journey, where we can dedicate it for the International Women's Day. And the theme, Building Empires with Integrity and Purpose. That is the theme given, and I think this theme is very, very relevant in modern times, because we are very much losing on integrity. We are losing the purpose for where we are there, especially people who are in the right positions. I feel that we need to get the inspiration from her how to serve the people who need to be served. I was just going through, Vaishali has already told, everybody knows about her life, because the persons who are present here have participated in several meetings and functions of the Lokmata. But I just went through, the day she was born till the day she died. And I had these fascinating facts before me. As you all know, she was born in Chondi, in a small village. And imagine a child who is 8 years old. If we look back at our own childhood, or the life of our own children or grandchildren, you're so innocent and you're so playful. Being married at the age of 8 is something which we cannot even imagine. But as you know, the story goes that when her father-in-law, the future father-in-law, Mr. Sri Malhar Rao, when he was traveling with Baji Rao towards Maharashtra, when they were traveling, they stopped at the Chondi village, and they felt thirsty and they wanted to drink water. They stopped near a temple, and then they see everybody running away. When they saw the horses coming, they all ran away because they thought some army was coming. But this little girl was standing in the temple and worshipping Lord Shiva with the Shivalinga in her hand. And Mallara got fascinated, and he asked her, did you not get afraid of us? When everybody ran away, why did you not run away? Then she said, what is there to be afraid? I have not done anything wrong. And I have Lord Shiva in my hand. Shiva is there to save me. And this really fascinated not only Mallara but even Bajirao. He immediately said, I think this is the right girl to be your daughter-in-law. And that is how they go and speak to her parents. And imagine from Maharashtra coming to Madhya Pradesh at a very young age as a daughter-in-law at the age of 8. And what is the age of her husband? Husband's age is also 10 years. He was also 10 years. And both the kids have been married, and then she comes. I can't imagine, something like this happening to us at such a young age, going and getting married and living in somebody's house in unfamiliar circumstances. And that's how her life begins. And the father-in-law, Mallar Rao, sees that spark in her. He sees that, she has that talent, and he starts educating her, teaching her everything that she needs to be in future. So not only he teaches her to read and write, but he teaches her accounts, he teaches her maths, he teaches her auditing, he teaches her horse riding, he teaches her how to do warfare, what is a gunpowder, etc., etc., and that is how, she grows. I think somehow he foresaw what her future is going to be. Then what happens? At the age of 20, she gets her son, Mallarao. At the age of 23, she gets her daughter, Mukta. Then at 29, she's a widow. Can you imagine, at the age of 29, becoming a widow? And that is the time, as Madam had mentioned, she wanted to do sati because in those days, everybody had to do sati. But when she wanted to do it, it is a father-in-law who stopped her. So, I always used to say, behind a successful woman, there's a man. Behind a successful man, there is a woman. Behind a successful woman, there's another woman. All that happens. So father-in-law stops her. He says, you are needed in this country for something better. And I will not allow you to do sati. And I need you to be alive. And it is further encouraged by her mother-in-law. And that is how she continues to live and live for us, to show this, what has happened in history. So that is how, her life changes. And then what happens is that the Battle of Panipat happens in 1761. And when Mallar Rao loses her mother-in-law, she cannot see the defeat of the husband. And she dies with a lot of grief. And that's how first she loses her husband, then she loses her mother-in-law, and after a few years she loses her father-in-law, and then they decide that the son, Mallar Rao, shall be the ruler, the Subedar. And this boy is a spoiled boy. Unfortunately for her, husband also was not up to the expectation, son also is not up to the expectation. This boy feels he's become very great, that he's going to be the Subedar, and he wants to have a very grand celebration. And she says, you have just lost your father. How can you have a grand celebration? You have to swear it in a very simple ceremony. And this boy says, nothing doing, I'm going to have a very grand celebration. And he takes out a whip, and the guy, the person who was supposed to organize, he says, why the hell you're not organizing a grand taking over for me? And he tries to hit him with the whip. And Ahilyabai holds the whip and she gives it back to him. So that is where the integrity and the ethics. She says, you may be my son, but you should know your limits. You should know when to celebrate and not to celebrate. This is not the time to celebrate because you have lost your father and you are just taking over in his place. So that is one quality of hers which we have been talking, ethics and integrity. and the value for principles in life one can see. And then this boy is totally not up to the expectation, and within 1 year he dies. His dying is also a very interesting story. I wouldn't like to get into it. And then husband gone, father-in-law gone, mother-in-law gone, now son also gone. You can imagine for a woman at the age of 30, 31, losing everybody one by one, but she becomes stronger by the day. It's not that the loss made her weak, but the losses made her strong. And the moment she took over, the first thing she tells all her ministers that she wants honesty. I want honesty, I want integrity, and I don't want corruption. There shall not be any corruption in the administration. And this is something which I think we all understand now. How a good administration is important for all of us. We keep looking forward to good administration, honesty and sincerity. And the moment she takes over, she finds that the Malwa Council, they are full of corrupt people, the ministers. They are levying very heavy taxes to the people, they're troubling people, illegally they have been taking money, and then the exchequer is going bankrupt. She removes all of them. She removes each and every one of them. That is something which is, one needs to have the guts to remove. And she removes everybody, and she puts all the honest people inside there, and she gives a warning to them that protection of Hindu, she gives a very good warning to them. She says if governance is compromised by greed, justice cannot stand. If governance is compromised by greed, justice cannot stand, and we are here to give justice to our people.